Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Right on Track. This is a Disney Channel movie, and it's from 2003. It is an hour and 28 minutes long. So yeah, it fits into that, if it had commercials, it'd be a full 2-hour movie, which you definitely see where the commercial breaks are. But there are no commercials. This is Disney Plus, obviously. This is a story of Erica and Courtney Enders. They grew up in the junior drag racing world. These are from a little. Erica's the oldest. When she was still maybe 5 or 6, her dad, well, for all her life, I should say, even before she was born, her dad was a drag racer. And by the way, this is based on a true story. These are actual real people that this story is about. And this is basically the story of sexism in drag racing, especially even among kids. Sexism in drag racing for kids. That's pretty much what this is about, because girls shouldn't be racing. Girls are gonna get beat. They're weak, they're dumb, and they can't race. That's pretty much the gist of all this. Of course, the girls here, the movie was made to prove them wrong. That's their story is being told. They grew up in Texas, from what I understand here. First, Erica entered, and Courtney was, as soon as she could, she followed in her sister's footsteps. And by the way, this is mostly an Erica story, but it's also the story of Courtney. Erica is played by Beverly Mitchell. You'll recognize her from Seventh Heaven. She even did a Saw movie I saw in the listing here. But one of the people that I did not realize was in this movie, I actually had to look at the credits. Just looking at her, I could not tell it was her until I really looked at her. Courtney, you see her, the one in the red there? That's Brie Larson. That's Captain Marvel. The most powerful hero in the MCU is the little sister in a drag racing movie about kids. Yep. So, yeah, she basically plays her when she's, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. So it's just blew my mind when I saw her in the credits. I'm like, who's she playing? Oh, it's the little sister. I still, even toward the end of the movie, I still was like looking at her like, is that really her? And maybe it's the hair color, maybe it's, I don't know, she's just a kid, I guess. She's all grown up now, but it was weird realizing that she was one of the main characters in this movie. So anyway, the story, it goes. By the way, there's other actors you might recognize. Not super really, but the dad is played by John Lindstrom, and the mom is Jodie Russell, and their like tech guy, or I shouldn't say tech guy, but their driving support guy, played by Marcus Toji. Yeah, so I don't know any of those names. Although I recognize the dad, John Lindstrom, is familiar to me. I'm not sure what he was in, but I've seen him in stuff. He's character actor, I think, mostly. But of course, the girls, especially Erica, she struggles between school and being on the volleyball team and racing and not being able to date boys because of this. She has to keep her grades up in order to even be allowed to. If she doesn't get A's, she can't race outside of the state. Yes, Texas is a big state, but there's races all over the country. And obviously that comes into play. The fact that they even mention it, yes, it comes into play at some point. She's got a struggle. She's trying to balance things out. And but it's mostly about the struggle on the track, dealing with her own self-doubt, and also the doubt that pretty much everybody she meets instills in her. Not just the boys that she's racing against, but like their dads are super creeps. They're just jerks. They're just like, hey, you want some tissues so when your little girl gets beat by my boy, she can cry, you know? Yeah, it's like another guy's just walking up to the dad just randomly, like early on, like the first scene in the film when she starts, not the first scene in the film, but the first scene where she's starting to race, where she signs up, and they're just like, hey, you think you should be putting a girl out there in the car? Okay, yes, maybe she's not playing with dollies and lusting after ponies, but This is a girl. Not every girl's the same. And this girl, she knows how to drive. And yeah, her mom isn't too big of a fan of the idea. It's really dangerous, and yeah, she runs into a little bit of danger here and there. But yeah, and there's also comes a struggle between her and Courtney. Eventually, it comes down to both of them having to race against each other. Who will win? We don't know. But you get to find out what happened to the girls at the end of the movie, where they went to as after this movie, the end of the story here. After the movie ends, you can see how well they did in their career and what they're doing since then. And obviously, it's 2003. I think Erica was in college at that point. I don't know if she left racing or not completely, but you get to see what they look like also in the very end of the movie. And yeah, it's a neat little girl power kind of thing. I mean, I don't want to diminish it to that such a trite little thing, but like I was saying earlier, it's pretty much just sexism against girls in racing. And this is the kind of story that applies to just about anything. Just because you're a girl and it's a traditionally boy sport or whatever, I mean, like, you can't play it. Trying to think of something where that's not true, and it's honestly, I can't think of anything. If girls want to take that chance and compete in what people are considering a traditionally boy sport, more power to them. Give them a shot. They succeed or they fail in their own merits, not because of a gender or because whatever rules society puts upon them. And that's my soapbox speech for today. Thank you. Anyway, it's a cute. I keep saying it's cute. It's not cute. It's a good little movie. It's well acted. The girls, Beverly holds her own. She's spent plenty of years on Seventh Heaven, doing emotional, really heart-wrenching family drama. So this is now outside her wheelhouse. And Brie Larson, again, I honestly, I'm starting to believe it wasn't really her, but because she's just a little kid. I just think this is only 2003, and she's a little kid. But yeah, they're great. So it's a fun little cast, and you might have a girl out there who might get something out of this. Boys too. Don't let people's perception of your gender limit you to how you can enjoy the things you love: sports, art, life. That's my second soapbox thing of the day. Honestly, there's not really a whole lot to analyze here. It's not Shakespeare. It's not it's not Citizen Kane. It runs through all the basic tropes that you'd expect to see in a Disney Channel movie that deals with girls overcoming a struggle that says they're not good enough. Yeah, so there's no real surprises, but I think it's well executed. There's lots of real drag racing that's in this, so they take a lot of footage. I don't know, maybe I didn't check, but it'd be cool if the girls that were they're portraying actually did the racing in those sequences for them. That would be kind of neat, I think. But odds are they're adults at this point, and they wouldn't be able to race in the same size cars as the junior league. And there is a junior league. It's a junior, a real, it's a real thing that's going on to this day. And there's more and more girls than you'd expect in this kind of sport. So, and they tell you how many, at least at the point of 2003. I don't know what it is now. There might be nobody racing, boys or girls, because of the pandemic. But, well, we're not going to talk about that now. But hopefully when this is all back, there'll be boys and girls racing really fast on tracks with no gender bias. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 7:25. Have we had 7:25? Did this? Just yesterday I reset this. Why did it reset itself again? I'm sorry. 725 is the number we want. I should probably get a much better technical process for this, but you know what? Who cares? 725. All right. You can tell by my sigh of resignation that, yeah. It's another movie. And yes, it's August, but we're going to celebrate Christmas again. Because 'twas the night. 'Twas the night. Hopefully it'll cool us off in these hot summer nights. 'Twas the night. Unless there's something, unless that means something completely different that I'm not getting, it is pretty much going to be a Christmas movie. You know it's going to be a Christmas movie. Who's in it? What's in it? Is it animated? Is it live action? I can't recall. But 'twas the night before Christmas. I mean, that's what's next. That's what we're watching. 'Twas the Night on Disney+. So I'll see you back here on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge tomorrow. Bye.